Hey, Arise family, welcome to Let's Study. Today we're over in First Chronicles chapter 11. We're going to be reading about King David today, but before we jump into that, I want to encourage you to go over to candynicolearise.com and get a copy of your Bible study along so that you can dive deeper into this word. Let's begin to read, you guys. It says, all Israel came together to King David at Hebron and said, here we are, your own flesh and blood. Even previously, when Saul was king, you were leading Israel out of battle and bringing us back. The Lord your God also said to you, you will shepherd my people Israel, and you will be ruler over my people Israel. So all the elders of Israel came to the king at Hebron. David made a covenant with them at Hebron in the Lord's presence, and they anointed King David over Israel in keeping with the Lord's word through Samuel. So what was done in the dark is now being brought to the light in both ways. Okay, we just saw what Saul did in the dark came to light. Okay, and we saw the consequence. The seed you sow, you shall reap. He said Saul would no longer be king. Yes, some time passed, but he still was taken out by the hands of God. Then we're seeing also David being promoted by the hands of God, not by his own hands. Because if you go back to the story when it's originally given to us, we see David finally ready to lay hands on Saul. He ready to give him a fade, okay? And he couldn't. They told David, you can't come with us. You're David. Aren't you David that slayed thousands and thousands? He can't come with us. What you mean? He might turn around on us and slay us. David couldn't come, so that was done by the hands of God. All right. And there's some things that's in our life too that only will be done by the hands of God. Promotion doesn't come from the east or the west. The Lord promotes his people. And the same thing is happening at this time and will continue to happen. This is how the Lord works. There's people that are going to be in the back that he's going to place back there for development for such a time as this. Whatever the time may be, he will bring them forth at that time and shine the light on them. So we're seeing here David finally getting the honor that the Lord said is deserving to him. The recognition now is coming from people, but first it was recognized through God. Okay, David had to walk in who it is that he truly was first before he became the king. The Lord had to show him, lead him, guide him, develop him into a king before he would stand before the people and they would acknowledge him as the king. So in verse 4, David and all Israel marched to Jerusalem. The Jebusites who inhabited the land were there. The inhabitants of Jez said to David, you will never get in here. Yet David did capture the stronghold of Zion. That is the city of David. David said, whoever is the first to kill a Jebusite will become chief commander. Joab, son of Zuthor, went up first, so he became the chief. Then David took up residence in the stronghold. Therefore it was called the city of David. He built up the city all the ways around, from the supporting terraces to supporting parts, and Joab restored the rest of the city. David steadily grew more powerful, and the Lord of armies was with him. Verse 10 says, the following were the chiefs of David's warriors, who together with all Israel strongly supported him in his reign to make him king according to the Lord's word about Israel. This is the list of David's warriors. And if you go through it, there is a list of David's warriors further down, okay? So I'm going to read a little bit more about the few that they are highlighting, okay? So it says, Jobaam, son of Hathath, was chief of the 30. He wielded his spear against 300 and killed them all at one time. After him, Eliezer, son of Dothoth, an Amathite, was one of the 3 warriors. He was with David at Pas Deim when the Philistines had gathered there for the battle. There was a portion of the field full of barley when the troops had fled from the Philistines. But Ebenezer and David took their stand in the middle of the field and defended it. They killed the Philistines, and the Lord gave them a great victory. 3 of the 30 chief men went down to David to the rock at the cave of Athrom, while the Philistines' army was encamped at Rehaim Valley. At that time, David was in the stronghold, and the Philistine garrison was at Bethlehem. David was extremely thirsty and said, "If only someone would bring me water to drink from the well at the city gate of Bethlehem." So 3 broke through the Philistine camp and drew water from the well at the gate of Bethlehem. They brought it back to David, but he refused to drink it. Instead, he poured it out to the Lord. David said, "I would never do such a thing in the presence of my God. How can I drink the blood of these men who risked their lives?" For they brought it at the risk of their lives, so he would not drink it. Such were the exploits of the 3 warriors. Amashai, Joab's brother, was the leader of the 3. He raised his spear against 300 men and killed them, gaining a reputation among the 3. He was more honored than the 3 and became their commander, even though he did not become one of the 3. Bashai, son of Jehoiada, was son of a brave man from Kizai, the man of many exploits. Benadad killed 2 sons of Ariel of Moab and went down into the pit of a snowy day and killed a lion. He also killed an Egyptian who was 7.5 feet tall. He was very tall, big man, a giant. In their time, for sure, a giant, okay? Even though the Egyptians had a spear in his hand like a weaver's beam, Bashan went down to him with a staff, snatched the spear out of the Egyptian's hand, and then killed him with his own spear. Some really strong men here. David's got his back. His ride or dies is a real strong team of men, okay? These were the exploits of Bashai, the son of Jehoiada, who had a reputation among the 3 warriors. He was the most honored of the 30, but did not become one of the 3. David put him in charge of his bodyguard. Now here's the long list of his best soldiers, okay? And so David had circles, okay? He had an inner circle, he had an outer circle, and then everybody else, okay? He had some ride or dies that was in his corner. We read about them, and now these are the ones that are on the outer circle, okay? This is his best men, and of course he has a whole army too. It's way out there in the other circle. So David had some men surrounding him to help him to defend his kinghood, okay, to defend the nation that he was the king over. So I will see you guys back over here tomorrow, where we'll be studying in 1 Chronicles chapter 12. I hope that this word blessed you. Go over to CandyNicoleRise.com so that you can dive deeper into this. There are journal prompts on there that help you to see yourself in this word and then apply the word to your life. I'll see you guys back over here tomorrow. Bye, y'all.